Good morning, Ricky here, the low-end card enthusiast from North Carolina, coming at you another video. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome back to my channel. This morning I thought I'd show you a couple things. I've showed them a while back, but for you new viewers who haven't seen them, and tell you a couple stories, which my wife doesn't like my stories, so I'll tell you guys. And it's early in the morning, so there you go. Yeah, I used to be a big NASCAR fan. My dad grew up, he was a Richard Petty guy, and I grew up a Richard Petty fan because of my dad. But after that, I was a Kyle Petty fan, and actually thought about that name and named my son Kyle. But and after Kyle Petty, in between, I don't know if he'd retired or not, but Jeff Gordon come along. I was a Jeff Gordon fan. But after Jeff Gordon retired, I kind of lost interest in it. Kind of dwindled down from NASCAR. And I don't know nothing about it these days, really nothing. The new guys or anything. I don't keep up with it. But it was so that with the Jeff Gordon thing, back when my son was maybe 10 or 11, my sister-in-law's husband, when he was starting out as a doctor, they were moving around occasionally around the area, around Tennessee and North Carolina, Virginia, place like that. But they were in Charlotte area, Kannapolis, I think. And it was when Kyle Petty was doing the Race Across America or something with the motorcycles. I think they would start out in California and come over to North Carolina, their headquarters. And we were going down there this week, a particular weekend. I think it was exit 58. I don't forget that. And it was on the radio. I had the station on down there, and they kept saying, Kyle, they're stopping off at exit 58 and the BP station and to get gas and whatever. And I kept thinking, the exit, telling my wife, ain't that the exit we're pulling off at? It seems like it is. I don't think they had I don't think we had smartphones then, but probably had maps. But anyway, I kept thinking to myself, that's the exit we're pulling off. And it's like the same time. And so we pulled off on exit 58, and I said, I'm going to pull in this BP, pull into BP. And there was already a couple of motorcycles there. And as soon as I pulled in, Richard Petty was sitting on the right-hand side of me on a picnic table with a couple ladies over there. And as soon as I pulled in, here come Kyle Petty and some more motorcycles. He pulled right beside me. Well, I got out, went over and I had a marker or a pen. I think it was a marker or something. And I had a napkin, and I asked him to sign my napkin, and he said, sure. And he was real nice, talked to him a few minutes, and he was laughing with ladies, Richard Petty. And went over to Kyle. He was getting his helmet off and everything, and asked him, would he sign it? And he said, yeah, man. He talked to him a few minutes, and he signed my napkin. And I had to call my sister-in-law's husband and tell him what was going on. He said, man, you got to get my autograph. You got to get autographs. He was a NASCAR fan because he had taken my son to the driving experience, Richard Petty driving experience, where you can ride with him around the track. And he had also taken him to Jeff Gordon's garage, and Jeff Gordon happened to be there that day. And coming around before he was leaving, he had his keys in his hand. Someone said, you need to catch him because he's leaving. And they got him, and he put his arm around my son and got a picture with him, and signed it, and everything. Anyway, he said, well, I said, I don't have anything, I don't think, in the car to get an autograph. He said, well, go in and buy something. So I went in there and bought a 2-liter Mountain Dew, I think, and they signed it. So anyway, so that was that story. Anyway, I got this from my buddy at Granddaddy's Antique Mall. Used to be the Southeast's largest antique mall. I don't know if it still is, but it used to advertise it as is. It's an old Kmart building, so you know how big Kmarts are. And it's about the whole building, just about. And there's a guy in there with a couple, 3 antique booths, and another guy with 2 or 3. And this particular guy's name is Kyle, which, of course, I told you I named my son Kyle. And his nephew's named Ricky. That's my name, so it's not hard to remember their names. I'm bad at names. But anyway, Kyle said, I think I got something you might like. And he showed me this dual signed Richard Petty, Kyle Petty on the hood there. Car. His buddy had got it signed. Like his car. Probably never part with it. Yeah. And as in sports, you got to have a team you just don't like or a person you don't like. And for me, it was I really respected him as a race car driver, but I guess my villain was Dale Earnhardt Sr. And yeah, he's my villain. I really didn't like him. And but Kyle come at me another time and said, I know you like NASCAR. I got a card I think you'd like. And he showed me this card, and it's still in the screw down. I just left it. It's autographed Dale Earnhardt Sr., Bill Elliott, and Mark Martin. 3 of the best on one card. It's pretty neat. 91 McDonald's All-Star Team card. I would like to get this authenticated, not graded, because of course in screw down it might have flattened out a little bit. Who knows? I don't know. I hear a lot about screw downs, but I don't know. I don't know if it's in a indented holder or not. I don't think it is. But anyway, yeah, I got that. And I've been to 3 tracks or 2 tracks. I've been to Darlington twice and Daytona once. You got Martinsville, Bristol. I used to have, I think, North Wilkesboro at Rockingham. I think all those tracks are going to run now. I think North Wilkesboro and Rockingham is back on the schedule, I think. I'm not sure. I don't keep up with it much, but I heard something about it. Anyway, for old time's sake, hopefully they are, especially in Wilkesboro. But I was married at an early age, real early age, talking September of 1977. And my wife's mother and her family was from Daytona Beach. And we went, I always wanted to say first time I went down there was the summer of 78, but it couldn't have been. It had to been for the firecracker. It had to have been for the Daytona 500 because I know the Wyntropic car won the race, and that was Bobby Allison, Daytona 500. It had to have been February of 78. So I took a week off work. We went down there for a week on vacation, went to the Daytona 500, had a great experience on that race. We sit in the top, which was better than the bottom. I've learned at Darlington, I think we sat one time near the bottom at Darlington and come out with tire dust all over your face. Not too good at seats. You'd think sitting at the bottom is good seats, and there are probably other places, but not at a race. Especially Daytona where you got, so wide, you got the little lake out there and all that kind of stuff on the other end. You want to be setting up high. So we were setting up high at Daytona. But anyway, I enjoyed that and enjoyed my week at Daytona. Oh, talking about Daytona, when I was 8, 10, 11 years old, you remember Big Daddy Rat with Jim Roth, the rail cars, the funny cars, Jim Roth, Big Daddy Rat, Pink. He had a club, I was memorized by that as a kid. It just intrigued me by that club, by those magazines they had out in bits and pieces in other magazines. You could order those t-shirts. I think I ordered one. And I wanted to find that place so bad when I grew up. I just couldn't stand it. And I knew it was in Daytona, and I searched that place out, and it was on the main strip there, and it was kind of far down. I found that place and went in it, and I bought something. That made my week, find a Big Daddy Rat Pink Club, that's what I call it, Jim Roth. And I think the main headquarters might have been in Arizona, I'm not sure. But anyway, I found that thing, I was so happy. But anyway, I was going to say, I was at Darlington twice. I don't remember one of them, but the other one I do, because there were 6 or 8 of us that went, probably about 8 of us. I keep up with time. I got a meeting at 9. We went down and camped out, and I think the race was on a Sunday. Sometimes they're on Monday. I think it was on a Sunday. So we camped out Friday and Saturday night, I think. And in South Carolina, you can buy the M80s and the kind of, we call them in North Carolina, illegal fireworks. You can't buy them in North Carolina. You have to go down there and get them, bring them back. And a lot of people do that, especially on July 4th. People go down there and bring a lot of fireworks back. I don't, but I don't care about fireworks. But of course, down there on that weekend, you do. We camped out and walked down the road and back and forth, and people shooting them across the road and stuff like that. So we get a campsite and set our tents up, and there's these, right beside us, there's these, I wouldn't call them woods, but there's the thickets, call them thickets, and there's these briar patch, is real high, 6 or 8 foot high briar patches right beside us. I remember this guy going in there using the bathroom. He just walks in there using the bathroom in them briars, and then just falling out, passed out drunk. We just left him there. I'm going in there and get him. Left him. Next morning, he come out, crawled out, and come on out from the briars. Anyway, there's some people set up across from us, about the same amount of people we had. It was a path, I think, one of those golf cart paths. The owner of the campsite had a golf cart, and she rode around in the golf cart. I think we got warned once, but we had a fireworks war, and I remember one particular moment. A guy had a bottle rocket. Now, I don't know if it's been so long ago. I want to say I saw that bottle rocket coming, but I don't see how, because it would have been so fast. But I must have seen him aiming it at me. And I ducked. Now, my roommate, Chuck, he is a dead ringer for Kenny Rogers. And I'll tell my wife a lot of times, and I really think when I say this, I think people look like somebody. And she'll always say they don't. She said, they don't look like that. And I think they do. But even now, even Chuck, she says, look like Kenny Rogers. So I really do. He does look like Kenny Rogers. He's dead ringing for him. But anyway, Chuck was behind me, and I ducked when I saw that bottle rocket even coming at me, or he was aiming it at me. And I ducked, and it hit Chuck in the head, and it put a big place on it. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but I'll never forget that, and I know he never will. But yeah, we had a time. Racetrack, I tell you. Going in, it was quite a few of us. So I don't know what the limit ratio is, bringing beer in, and how many people you got. I don't know if they got a ratio, but we had too much beer to bring in. They wouldn't let us bring it in. And we had coolers and whatever. It's too much of it. So they said we would have to go get a pass, because we were determined we were going to bring it in. So they said we were going to have to get a pass for, the suites overlooking the race car track. You'd have to go up there and get a pass from some sort of office or something, main office, I don't know. But one of us went up there and got a pass. We actually got a pass to bring it in, and we brought it all in. So, yeah. Anyway, that was a wild weekend. But anyway, gone far enough. 14, 15 minutes, that's long enough to run my mouth. So anyways, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video and y'all have a good day.